Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. Forced out to his left. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Now Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Running out of the gun with ETN. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
From midfield now, Lawrence. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the counter, ETN. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Lawrence. They had a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down up past the 15. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop, a tackle for loss. Well, you've told me before, it's great to be an athlete, a lot of great athletes out there. It's good to have instincts, and he has those.
I would take those above athleticism in a lot of cases because if you know where the ball's going before anyone else can get there and block you, you can make up for a lack of athleticism by being in the right spot at the right time.
And took him down in the backfield with those instincts. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. And it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Stopped by Jacorian Bennett.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. In motion right is Brown. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Now 2nd and 3. Now Lawrence to throw. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Lawrence. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. Back to the ground with Etienne. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Geno. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. 7 yards there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. Second down and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Just beating the play clock, Smith. Open man is Myers. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He completes it to Hunter. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Lawrence. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Geno now to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Smith now to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And his throw here's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw taken in by Long.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Tyree Wilson getting back there in a hurry and handing him a loss.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14.
And they'll go again with ETN.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They go play action now. Lawrence
rolling to his right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
Malcolm Kuntz able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Play action. It's Smith.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From the gun, here's Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now Geno.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence, he finds his man, complete. That's Hunter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Throwing again here, it's Lawrence.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Etienne.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now Smith.
A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here's 3rd and a few inches.
Here's Smith.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
This is caught by Tucker.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Carlson is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line.
Now it's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Myers. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Right back to him on 1st down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. To throw is Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Lawrence hit, and the ball is free.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line.
But whatever they were trying to call, Chad Muma had it read from the start, getting behind the line of scrimmage and dropping him.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
76 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Out of the gun, Smith.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Off of play action, here's Smith.
That's to Bowers once again.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing now is Geno. And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Raiders go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the second time of the ball game.
And, Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
43 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and a yard. ETN once more.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
ETN up the middle. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
From midfield now, Lawrence.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a 1st down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Now Lawrence to throw.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunter. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 18. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Lawrence. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. One of the tight ends comes in motion. Etienne will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Geno now to throw.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as good running gets him to about the 44. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it. But what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That burst good for 20 and a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. Smith. And it's caught. Touchdown Raiders. Ian Thomas, a 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Raiders have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence.
Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Now Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Raiders heading out to take over.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Now a 2nd and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Very good offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 30. Get this drive out on the ground.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. That is caught.
And he's got this down to the 35. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And able to get this to the 31.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll find ETN out of the backfield.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Lawrence. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. They go play action now. Lawrence
flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he's got it. It's Thomas. for a Jacksonville touchdown.
Brian Thomas.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And now here come the Raiders. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing. Now a handoff running through the middle. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Now it's Smith.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
from the gun. He'll hand this off.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other, and they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.